Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. Salaries and wages in South Africa continue to show long-term decline. That's according to the findings of the latest General Household Survey. The report by Statistics South Africa monitored activity in 2021 and shows that COVID-19 dealt a big blow on household finances. Business reporter Tumisang Ndlovu speaks to StatsSA's Director for Service Delivery Statistics, Roux.
Understandably, due to the effects of COVID-19, there's been an increase noted in the General Household Survey in the rise of social grants, and we are joined by StatsSA's Roux to expand on this. Neil, do talk to us about the increase that we've seen, particularly around social grant relief.
Yes, over the last few years, since 2003, we've of course seen an increase in the percentage of households that have accessed grants from about 12% to about, I think it's about 30%, and similarly an increase in the percentage of households that access grants from about 30% to just more than 50% of households. Now, I think the interesting thing here is that a lot of the last 2 years' increase has really been the SRD grant, or the so-called COVID-19 grant, which, according to our estimations, about 7% or so of households actually access that over and above the normal grants that they would have accessed. The interesting thing also is that a large percentage of households, about a quarter of households, consider social grants as their main source of income, compared to about 50% or so of households that still listed listed wages and salaries as their main source of income. And this is particularly prevalent in the poorer provinces, Eastern Cape and Limpopo. I think, in fact, it's in the Eastern Cape, you'll find that the larger percentage of households actually listed social grants as the main source of income, about 40% compared to about 37%.
Speaking of social grants being the main source of income, particularly in those areas that you've noted, another element that comes up in the study is how households essentially are finding that food security is not particularly adequate.
Yeah, we've got a number of questions which we've been tracking over the years, asking households whether they have adequate access to food. And we have found over the past 2 years, since the beginning of COVID, that that percentage of households that had adequate percentage of, or access to food have started to decline again. Inversely, in other words, those households that have inadequate or severely inadequate percentage access has started to increase. And that is increased now to about, I think, 20% or so. It is notable, and we hope to see in the 2021-22 results, rather, whether this trend has been stopped, and whether we're hopefully getting a reversal.
Over 20% of South African households in 2021 seeing social grants as their main source of income. With the rising cost in food and fuel prices, it remains to be seen whether mitigating measures are going to be enacted to facilitate and relieve the pressure on consumers. For Newzroom Afrika on Channel 405, I'm Tumisang Ndlovu in Pretoria.